edition of ACWA Danger Zone TV. I am your host, Steve Miller, and in tonight's main event, you will see the American rock star, CJ Summers, put his title on the line against the Ripper number 2. Now, as you've seen, the Darkness has not only had their eyes on the ACWA Championship, but on the champion himself, with the sole purpose of ending his career. Will CJ Summers retain the title, or will Darkness reign over the ACWA? Tonight we're also going to take a look at the ACWA Women's Division and how Della Morte has been the dominant force. And you can guarantee that the Darkness is the key to her dominance. Tonight we're going to kick things off with a match called the Orphan Rumble. Let me get you up to speed on the events that have led to this match. Since 2001, the Orphan has tried everything in his power to make the ACWA another hardcore promotion. But the ACWA Championship Committee sees this as not a good decision for the direction that they want the company to go in. So for the past 3 years, the Orphan has been crying and complaining to anybody that would listen. Recently, though, the Championship Committee granted the Orphan this match called the Orphan Rumble with the stipulation that the Orphan Cup, which is not recognized by the ACWA, will be on the line. Let's go to the ring.
As you see, fans in the ring at this time, you see Slayer in the ring awaiting Eddie Caspiel as the second contestant in this Orphan Rumble. Now, you know, with the Orphan's history in ACWA, you can only guess what's going to happen in a match like this. You can only guess with his rules and any kind of stipulations that he demands. Since the Championship Committee finally granted him this match, you can only imagine what kind of result's going to come out here. But hopefully, a young competitor like Eddie Caspiel can fight through this and hopefully even win the Orphan Rumble. But again, with the Orphan lurking around the ringside area, you never know what's going to happen in a match like this. Seems like now the referee has signaled for the bell. We have these two men are ready to kick off the Orphan Rumble, and there's the referee signaling for the bell, and we're underway in the Orphan Rumble, which again has that stipulation with the Orphan Cup, which is not sanctioned by the ACWA, is on the line. Now, of course, the Orphan, that's probably the only thing the Orphan didn't like from the Championship Committee, but he's lucky that they even granted him a match because they constantly see how this is not a hardcore promotion and they don't want it to go in that direction. Now, you see early on here, Slayer's working over Eddie Caspiel, firing him into the corner, following up with a clothesline. Seems to be slowing down the young competitor. Now, there's a considerable size disadvantage for Slayer here, but looks like now Eddie's with a head scissors out of the corner, and now he seems to be regaining the momentum. Now Eddie Caspiel is firing up. He's ready to take control, and there again, the Orphan just wandering around ringside. It's almost like you're just waiting for him to get involved somehow. Both men lock up, and again, Slayer, of course, being the tag team partner of the Orphan, will use any means necessary to win the match and to gain an advantage, and of course goes right to the old school move of poking the eyes. And as the Orphan barking out orders to Slayer, and now Slayer's biting him, and there's nothing you can do because there are no rules in this match. According to the Orphan, anything goes. Yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't care if people get hurt, bodies are on the line. It doesn't bother him one bit. It doesn't matter to him at all. So now again, Slayer is again trying to eliminate Eddie Caspiel. Now remember, these are Orphan's rules, so whatever he decides goes. And now Eddie once again fights off Slayer, keeping himself in this match. Eddie Caspiel is still in the match. Again, now with Slayer is now down on the mat, and Eddie Caspiel has gained control. Now Eddie, if he's smart, with that European uppercut knocking Slayer down to the mat, if he's smart, he's going to use his size and strength to his advantage to eliminate Slayer from the Orphan Rumble. But again, if Slayer does get eliminated, is he really eliminated? I mean, he is the Orphan's partner, and according to the Orphan, anything goes in his mind. And if Slayer gets eliminated, is he really eliminated, or is the Orphan going to say he can go back in? As now Eddie is trying to eliminate in the far corner. You see him trying to eliminate Slayer. Slayer holding on almost like a spider there. And what? Did I just hear that announcement right? Gary, the referee, is now a contestant in the Orphan Rumble? Wait a minute. He climbed in, he climbed out. I don't get that. As you see, Eddie Caspiel still working over Slayer in the corner. And wait a minute now. Seems the other referee, Matt, is giving him a little pep talk there. And now the Orphan seems to be forcing him. He has to get back in the match. And once again, now referee Gary has re-entered the match. I don't get this. What is Gary the referee doing in the match? But again, it's the Orphan, so I guess you can expect, you can't know what's going to happen. Anything can happen, apparently. It's now Eddie Caspiel just shoves the referee down. But now the Orphan seems to be behind referee Gary, cheering referee Gary on in this match. Now referee Gary just trying to fight Slayer, gets shoved down by Slayer into the corner. And it's an unusual tag team here maneuver, as you see Eddie Caspiel and Slayer eliminating referee Gary from the Orphan Rumble. That should be it, folks. It's now back down to Eddie Caspiel and Slayer in the Orphan Rumble, as referee Gary was deposited outside the ring, unceremoniously, of course. Now both men are focused on each other, and again focused on winning the Orphan Rumble, as Eddie knocks Slayer down to the mat with a powerful right hand. He's stomping away at the upper body of Slayer, just trying to wear down that crazy competitor. Now, wait a minute. The Orphan just said, according to his rules, he's not out, and he re-entered Gary the referee into the Orphan Rumble. See, this is what I'm talking about. You have no idea what kind of rules are in this match. And he has wait a minute. Referee Gary is now, look, he's taping. He's got the tape on the wrist. It looks like now he's all fired up. He's ready to go. He loosens up the collar, and now he wants to. Now he's trying to broker a tag team, a double team with Eddie Caspiel over in Slayer, as they both are laying the boots to Slayer in the corner. This can't make the Orphan happy. I mean, but it is his own rules, so he's got to expect that to happen. And he's the one that re-entered referee Gary into this match. As now both men, again, stomping away at Slayer in the far corner. They have got to work on getting Slayer out of the ring if either one of them wish to win this Orphan Rumble. Again, this is a match that was sanctioned by the Championship Committee with the Orphan Cup. Again, not a trophy that is not sanctioned by the ACWA is on the line. So that is the only reason why we are watching this match at this time. And again, now, wait a minute. Now both referee Gary and Eddie Caspiel are trying to eliminate Slayer. They got him over the top rope, but he's only on the outer ring apron. And there goes Slayer. Now Slayer has, I guess, been eliminated. But with referee Gary being re-entered, who knows if Slayer's actually eliminated? I guess not. There goes Slayer. He's thrown back in the ring by Orphan. The Orphan saying he's not eliminated. So I don't know if now maybe the Orphan Rumble, it's a double elimination where you have to be thrown out twice. I haven't the slightest idea. Now, wait a minute. Now the Orphan just pulled referee Gary out of the ring, and now he says he's finally eliminated. So now we are back down to Eddie Caspiel and Slayer in the Orphan Rumble. It seems now Eddie Caspiel is just a little bit confused here on the rules, and quite frankly, so am I. I have absolutely no idea what the rules are in a match like this. As now Eddie Caspiel has eliminated Slayer. That should be it. Looks like Eddie Caspiel has won the Orphan Rumble, but the referee hasn't signaled for the bell. I don't understand that. The fans are cheering. It seems as if, wait a minute, the winner of the Orphan Rumble is the Orphan. The Orphan didn't even compete in this match. How did he win this match? He was never even in the match. Eddie Caspiel eliminated Slayer twice. Referee Gary got yanked out of the match. How did the Orphan win the Orphan Rumble? I guess there goes those rules again from the Orphan in the Orphan Rumble. It's ridiculous. As now Eddie Caspiel, he fair and square had both men eliminated. He should be the winner, but I guess this is the Orphan's rules. And now Eddie Caspiel's working over Slayer again. Now finally, Orphan's entering the ring. This could only mean trouble for Eddie Caspiel. And there we go. The Orphan just clubbing away. And the Orphan eliminating Slayer. And now the Orphan working over Eddie Caspiel with the elbow to the back of the neck. Eddie Caspiel's almost lying motionless now after that beating he received. And now the Orphan just ramming Eddie's head into the corner. So working over young Caspiel, firing him out of the corner with the Irish whip. This could only mean trouble. He's setting up with a crushing avalanche in the corner. As you see, Eddie just collapses to the ring. But again, I just don't understand. They announced the Orphan as the winner, yet he finally entered the match. I don't get his rules and how you get eliminated. It makes no sense. I mean, Slayer was re-entered into this match twice, and then he was eliminated by the Orphan. Referee Gary was entered into this match twice, and then yanked out of the ring by the Orphan. Then the Orphan was announced the winner, with Eddie Caspiel being the only man remaining in the ring. And now the Orphan, he's choking out Eddie Caspiel with the referee shirt, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. There are no rules in this match. Eddie now firing off with an elbow to the midsection. Firing off now with the right hands to the midsection. Right hand after right hand, clubbing away at the Orphan. Trying to eliminate the Orphan over the top rope, and now the Orphan's eliminated. Eddie Caspiel should be the winner of this match, but now referee Gary is in the ring, and he's raising the hand to Eddie Caspiel, so Eddie Caspiel must be the winner. Again. But now the Orphan just throwing Eddie Caspiel through the middle of the ropes, and now he's raising his hands in victory. What? As you just heard from the Orphan, it's his rules. He won. The winner of the Orphan Rumble and retaining his Orphan Cup is the Orphan. We're now going to go to the footage of the ACWA Women's Division, where prior to the matches, President of the ACWA Championship Committee Carmine demanded that Della Morte defend her title against both Alicia and Jana in the same night due to the constant interference of the Darkness. Let's go to the matches. Fans, you see how now Della Morte is setting up Alicia. Alicia's been dominating this match. You know, just the constant dominance with Della Morte in the women's division as she's threatened every competitor that has challenged her for the title. As now you see Della Morte ascending the top rope. This could spell the end for young Alicia in this championship match. Della Morte missing the senton bomb off the top rope as now both competitors are on the mat. Referee's beginning his 10 count. But no matter where they are, what match it is, who she's defending the title against, you know the Darkness. You know the Darkness is going to be there, and you know the Darkness is going to interfere in a match like this. You have to know that they're going to be at ringside. And now you see that Alicia's trying to fight back. She has her opportunity to win this championship. And now Alicia off the top rope with a bulldog. That could be it, folks. She's gotta roll over and get that pin on Della Morte. This could be it. Alicia could be the new women's champion. As now you see the fans are getting behind this young competitor. Wait a minute. What are these guys doing? I mean, this is somebody's got to do something about every time Della Morte is defending the title. These two beasts, these two monsters coming to the ring and double choke slam on Alicia. That's got to be it. And the referee's signaling for the bell. That's the end of this match. And once again, now, as you just heard, due to the stipulations added earlier, if the Darkness interfered in this match, Della Morte would be fined $5,000, and she was indeed fined $5,000, as now that's the end of another tainted victory for Della Morte. Now, earlier, you remember how when the Darkness interfered in the match with Della Morte and Alicia, she was fined $5,000, but yet again, they are on the outside of the ring, so this can only spell nothing but trouble for young Jana as she's firing away with right hands on the champion in the corner. The referee counting to 5. Jana's running the risk of being disqualified. The Ripper number 2 attacked the referee. The referee had no idea where that came from. Now Ripper number 2 and Billy Lassiter entered the ring again. This could only mean troubles. Now look, as Jana, excuse me, I apologize, as Jana is now cowering in the corner. The Ripper number 2 just grabs her by the hair, fires her off in the corner. This could be another crushing avalanche in the corner. Jana ducks out of the way and attempts a drop kick on Billy Lassiter. Billy Lassiter grabbing her by the legs. It looks like he's holding her down or setting her up. As now Ripper number 2 comes off the rope with a crushing splash in the middle of the ring, flattening young Jana. That's it for this young competitor. That's got to be the end of the match. And again, the Darkness, Ripper number 2 and Billy Lassiter handing on a silver platter another victory to Della Morte for the Women's Championship. As now the referee is coming too. Now referee's gonna have to count this. It's just a slow count, but the referee's got to do it. It's his job. And there you go, folks. Another tainted victory for Della Morte, thanks to the interference of Billy Lassiter and the Ripper number 2. Della Morte remains ACWA Women's Champion.
Before we go to our main event, let's take a look at some footage in which ACWA Heavyweight Champion CJ Summers defended the gold against the Darkness. But thanks to the added stipulation in the contract demanded by Della Morte, not only did CJ Summers have to defend the title against the Ripper number 2, but he also had to defend the title against Billy Lassiter. Let's join that match in progress.
And now you see Billy Lassiter setting up CJ Summers for what looks to be a tombstone pile driver. And he plants the champion in the middle of the ring. CJ Summers, that's got to be it for the champion. That's got to be it. He fires off that left shoulder, off the canvas. What heart and dedication and determination that CJ Summers has by kicking out of the Tombstone pile drivers. Now Billy Lassiter tags in the Ripper number 2. As you know, this is a handicap match, due to that added stipulation in the contract that was demanded by Della Morte, forcing CJ Summers to defend his title not only against the Ripper number 2, but against Billy Lassiter in this handicap match. As now you hear the fans are beginning to get behind the champion, trying to give him that added boost, that extra motivation to get back and gain the advantage in this match. But Ripper number 2 is just wrenching back on that chin. You see how he's pulling the chin back. It's got to be putting a lot of pressure on the neck of the champion. Now Ripper number 2 just almost seems like this could be it for CJ Summers. Now he has CJ Summers up in the air, driving his face into the mat. As you see CJ Summers' face bouncing off the mat. That's got to be it for the champion. Taking 2 of those type kind of moves in a row, that's got to be it. But the Ripper number 2 pulls his head up. I don't understand it. Ripper number 2 had a chance to win the title, had a chance to win the championship. He had the champion pinned, but he pulled the head up. As now they seem content with just inflicting more and more damage. Again, going for the 2. CJ Summers kicking out once again. But they just seem content with hurting him. They almost don't care about the championship. They just want to damage the champion. They just want to end his career. They want him out of the ACWA. They just, it doesn't matter. That could be the only explanation for me is why he would pull his head up. As now both men with a double headbutt knocking the champion back down to the mat. As now Billy Lassiter seems, now he's going to go for the pin, but this is kind of a lackadaisical cover there. And again, pulling the head up. This just seems like this is just a mauling right here. As now the referee's got to get in there and break that. They got to break that. He's biting the champion. I mean, I didn't think Billy Lassiter would sink that low. But again, it's the darkness. They'll do anything it takes to hurt, maim, damage, destroy their opponents. They will do anything. Now headbutting and knocking Summers back down to the mat. CJ's got to be out of it. He's got to be running on empty here. The tank of gas has got to be on fumes. As now Ripper number 2's now he's taking over in the match as Billy Lassiter exits the ring. I guess they just pick whatever corner they're in. Wait a minute. Now Billy Lassiter, he's got Della Morte. He's got the title belt in his hand. As not the referee doesn't see this yet, but the referee's got to get that out of here. As CJ Summers with a small package on Ripper number 2, only getting a 2 count. Ripper number 2 knocking him back down to the mat with a powerful clothesline. As you can see, his head snapping off the mat as Summers is grabbing the back of his neck. He has taken a beating in this match, and it only could satisfy these 2 men here with Billy Lassiter and Ripper number 2. As you could see, Billy Lassiter's hiding that belt behind him. The referee still has not seen it, as now Billy Lassiter's entering the ring with the title belt, and the referee's warning him not to use it. Billy Lassiter going to hit Summers, knocks down his own partner. CJ Summers now throwing Billy Lassiter out of the ring. Look at this last-ditch effort. CJ Summers from the middle rope with the frog splash onto Ripper number 2, going for the cover. The 1, 2, and 3. It's CJ Summers with the last-ditch effort of offense retains the ACWA Heavyweight Championship.
And his opponent in a red pants, he hails from Seaside Heights, New Jersey, weighing in at 200 pounds. He is the ACWA Heavyweight Champion, the American Rockstar, CJ
And the referee has signaled for the bell, and this matchup is underway. As you saw earlier, you know what happened the last time these 2 were involved in a championship match, in that handicap match with Billy Lassiter and Ripper number 2 against CJ Summers. CJ Summers did come out with the victory in that match, but again, he's at a decided disadvantage in this championship match already with the presence of Billy Lassiter and the women's champion Della Morte at ringside. As CJ Summers has got to use his quickness and his agility to gain victory in this match, already taking Ripper number 2 down to the mat with an arm drag, gaining the early advantage and the momentum in this matchup. Referee checking Ripper number 2, who does not give up just yet, as now you look at just Della Morte just lurking around ringside. I can almost imagine, it's almost like you have to wait. You pick your moment as to when they're going to interfere in this match. It's just constant interference, match after match, whether it's Della Morte's championships or this heavyweight championship. Is now it's CJ Summers gaining momentum with 2 straight arm drags, taking Ripper number 2 again down to the mat. Referee signaling over that Ripper number 2 did not give up, and he's still in this match. If CJ Summers looks to retain his title, he needs to keep the momentum. He needs to keep it fast-paced. He needs to keep it quick and hard and fast, because if it slows down at any point in this matchup, it's going to play right into the hands of the Ripper number 2. As now Ripper number 2 just driving ACWA champion down to the mat with a side slam, taking the wind out of CJ Summers. You remember, that back is still injured from an attack that was earlier with that double choke slam from both Billy Lassiter and Ripper number 2. So that injury has got to be exploited. It's got to be in the back of the mind of Ripper number 2. Ripper number 2 getting only a 2 count with dropping the leg on CJ Summers, as now Ripper number 2 is firmly in control of this match. Ripper number 2 he's just stomping away. He's just stomping on the back of the neck, using any means necessary again to take over the champion. Again, now he's got him in a backbreaker. He's wrenching back on the leg and on the neck. And this is one of the most painful submission holds that I've ever seen, as now you see how he's just wrenching down. He's pushing down on the chin and the leg. That's got to be putting a lot of pressure on the lower back. Getting only a 2 count, failing to hook the leg. He's got to hook the leg if he wants to become champion and keep the champion down to the mat for the 1, 2, 3. But again, you see Billy Lassiter again at ringside, and Della Morte just pacing, waiting for her chance, perhaps at any time in this match, to interfere. Ripper number 2 is firmly in control now, just using his power as he fires CJ Summers off the ropes. CJ ducks the clothesline, sunset flip, trying to pull Ripper number 2 over. He pulls him over, getting only a 2 count as Ripper number 2 does kick out, knocking Summers down with a powerful clothesline. Again, his head snapping off the mat. He's holding the back of his neck. Referee is asking him if he's okay, but knowing the heart, knowing the determination of the champion, he'll fight through any kind of pain, any kind of suffering to retain the ACWA title. Ripper number 2 has got to keep on the champion. He's got to keep using his power and his size, as now it seems he's hooking up with a belly-to-belly suplex, driving Summers down into the mat with another lackadaisical, almost like arrogant cover there, failing once again to hook the leg. He's got to put body on body. He's got to use his weight to keep the shoulders of the champion down to the mat if he wants to win this match. Now he's threatening the referee. Referee clearly explaining to him that it was only 2 counts. CJ Summers rolling Ripper number 2 up, only getting a 2 count. That's only got to infuriate Ripper number 2. As Ripper number 2 once again knocking CJ Summers back down to the mat. The referee signaling it was a shot to the head and it was an open fist. Again, with Ripper number 2, he'll use anything. He'll poke the eyes, he'll choke, he'll kick, he'll stomp, he'll use illegal moves. As now he's firing Summers out to the mat, right into the devil's pit almost, with the darkness out there with Della Morte and Billy Lassiter. As now they're just working over the champion on the outside of the ring. And again, Ripper number 2 just keeping the referee distracted. Now the referee sees none of this going on the outside of the ring. As now Billy Lassiter throwing CJ Summers back into the ring. CJ Summers looks like he's lying there motionless. It's almost as if he's got no energy left. As now Ripper number 2 finally put body on body, but only again getting a 2 count. He's got to hook the leg. That's just basic wrestling. Referee signal once again that CJ Summers did get his shoulder off the mat. Ripper number 2 seems to be, he's wasting a little bit of time. Now he's choking once again. Referee's got to break that. Count to 5. Ripper number 2 is running risk of being disqualified in this championship match. He's got to watch the be aware of that referee count. And Ripper number 2, that's again, he's grabbing the hair. Referee's got to stop him from pulling the hairs. Now he's just pulling back on the neck, almost like a modified camel clutch. This could be it for CJ Summers. He is close to the ropes. If only the champion knows he's close enough to the ropes. He can break this hold. The referee is signaling that, no, he did not give up. But as you can see, just Ripper number 2 just leaning on the mid-back of the champion and just powering down on the lower back, just driving Summers back into the mat. And again, going back to that modified camel clutch. Referee once again asking Summers if he's going to give up. And you see fans are starting to clap. They're starting to cheer to get behind the champion. He's starting to get behind the champion. That's got to be the motivation. He's got to use that. C.J. Summers blocking it with his knees up, and Ripper number 2 just dropping the elbow. Again, C.J. Summers kicking out without getting that left shoulder off the mat. Ripper number 2 once again with the arrogant cover. It doesn't even seem like he cares. He just wants to inflict pain. We all know he doesn't care. He just wants to end Summers' career. That's his mission. He wants to be champion. Although, you know, he is a smart competitor. As you saw, he did block that attempted reversal on C.J. Summers. As now Ripper number 2. Now C.J. Summers with a unique submission hold. As you see, he's got the head scissors locked on Ripper number 2, pulling back in the other arm. Ripper number 2 spinning him off. C.J. Summers ducks the clothesline. Back into the Ripper number 2 and taking Ripper number 2 down with a tremendous head scissors, knocking him down on the mat. C.J. Summers seems to be gaining momentum in this match. And once again, there you go. I was waiting for Della Morte to get into this match as she once again interferes. Ripper number 2 knocking down Della Morte off the mat as C.J. Summers had ducked the attack. C.J. Summers drop-kicking Billy Lassiter off the mat. He's taking care of the darkness on his own as now firing off at right hands on Ripper number 2. As now Ripper number 2 is being fired off the ropes. Reversal into the... Della Morte hitting C.J. Summers with the belt, knocking the champion down to his knees. Come on, referee. The referee didn't see any of this. As now Ripper number 2 hoisting the champion in the air. This could be it. Driving C.J. Summers down into the mat with his face into the mat. Hooking the leg. And C.J. Summers it took 3 men. It took Della Morte, it took Ripper number 2, and it took Billy Lassiter to defeat C.J. Summers. Ripper number 2 has now become the ACWA heavyweight champion due once again to the interference of the darkness. I can't believe that, folks. That is one of the most horrible endings I've ever seen. Well, folks, that is it for tonight's show. Don't forget to tune in next week when we have more great wrestling action. Don't forget to check us out on the web at www.acwawrestling.com. If you have any questions or suggestions, write to us at acwa-nj@juno.com. Once again, thanks for tuning in. Good night, everyone.